Are you confused by the concept of a content calendar? Don't worry, watch this video for my foolproof content calendar formula. For the best marketing advice in your private practice, subscribe to my channel and hit that bell to be notified when I post new videos every week. If you're confused about the idea of a content calendar and can't figure out what to do with them, by the end of this video, you'll have clear instructions on how it will help you market your practice with ease. As we get started with the idea of a content calendar, comment below with the system that you're currently using to organize your marketing efforts. So from time to time, I come across people who are pretty intimidated by the concept of a content calendar for their marketing. And my hope is with this video that I can show you that a content calendar is really made to make your life a whole lot easier. You know, when you think about the fact that the marketing efforts for your private practice can entail things like blogging and social media and a newsletter and video and all of the things that make up the marketing strategy for your private practice, it can feel like you have a lot of balls juggling up in the air at one time. And what a content calendar will do is it will kind of wrap all of that up into one nice, neat little bow for you and give you a glance of exactly what's going on with your marketing and where the holes are, where you need to fill in the gaps. It can also help provide some structure and some inspiration if you're a person who will sometimes wonder, what should I be posting about? What should I be writing about when it comes to blogging or newsletters or things like that? If you're plugging all of that information into a content calendar, it becomes really easy to see not only where the holes are, but what can go in its place in those things. So your content calendar will be a living document that will change over time. Now, there are a lot of different softwares out there that do a really great job of providing some content calendars, some electronic versions, and some of them have some really fantastic bells and whistles that you can utilize. And you can also scale it down to something as simple as a spreadsheet, which is what I'm going to show you here shortly. Just know that there are no wrong answers here. If you've never had a content calendar before, maybe you would like to kind of dip your toe in the water with this spreadsheet example that I'm going to show you. And then once you've gotten a little bit acclimated to it, maybe think about upgrading to a system like Trello or any of the other softwares that are out there that do a really great job of keeping those things organized for you. But maybe we can start with this version first and get you acclimated to it and help you to see that it really is going to be your best friend over time. So I'm going to go ahead and share my screen with you and show you this approach. Okay, so you can see that I've got a very basic content calendar going on here, and this is a year at a glance. So you can go ahead and plug in the year at the top. And then we've got it broken down into quarters for you. If you have specific goals of things that are going on in your practice, you can certainly place those here. Now, there's also a space in each of the individual months here on what your theme can be. If you've got a specific theme for your practice in that month, then that can get plugged in here. It's important that you share this document if you have other people who are helping you with your marketing efforts. So maybe put it on a Google Drive or a OneDrive or whatever document sharing service you utilize so that everybody is on the same page. So you've got a year and a glance with this first tab of your spreadsheet. Now, the next tab can be individual posts or documents. And so we've got the schedule date here. And then, for example, if it's going to be a social media post, you could put the text for that there, and then a link to whatever graphic that you're going to be utilizing in that post, and then what platform it's going to be. So even if this is a newsletter for your email marketing, you can plug that in here, what graphics are going to go into that newsletter, and what the overall theme is for that newsletter. And then, of course, there's also a section here for notes, which is going to be particularly helpful if there are others who are sharing in the workload for the marketing of your practice with you. Now, also, if you look along the bottom, we've got it broken out to all of the months of the year here. And the beauty here is that, you know, all of these numbers can be changed depending on what year it is and what day of the week that month starts. So you can go ahead and change this and then just use this document over and over and over again if you like. But I want to give you an example of what this could look like for your practice, okay? So let's say on the second Friday of every month, your newsletter is due. That's what you've committed to the people who follow you, that you're going to be sending out a newsletter to them. So we're going to go ahead and put newsletter due. Okay. Now let's also assume, for the sake of argument, that every Monday your blog is due. Blog due. Okay. So you could go in and fill that out all the way through. We're not going to go ahead and do that. I just want to give you an example of what this looks like in action. All right, so now let's also talk about the fact that you've got some additional events that are going on in your practice. Let's say you've got a workshop that's on the 2nd of this month. You're going to be delivering a workshop. Okay, let's assume that you've got another one coming up here. Let's say you've got a, you're going to be at Chamber of Commerce. Okay. Okay, so now the beauty here is, depending on what your blog article is going to be about, let's assume that your blog article is five signs you're struggling with depression. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put signs of depression. Okay. What you can do after you've written that article and published it is each one of the days after your blog is due, you've got social media. Now, in your case, you would go ahead and put, you know, Facebook, Instagram, whatever social media platforms you're on. But the beauty here is that you can take bits and pieces of this blog and break it down into social media posts. That makes your social media so much easier. So going back now to your content tab, each one of these days, we'll go back here, let's say the 8th, 9th, and the 10th. You would put January 8th, January 9th, January 10th, and then list what each of those signs are from your blog post, or whatever information you want to draw out of that blog. You come up with different graphics for that, and then you list the platform, and then you're all set with your social media. If you've got another blog the following week, depending on what the information is that's in that, draw out little bits and pieces of the information from that blog, and you've got your social media content set for the next several days. And that really takes care of the social media component for you. Now, the other thing that we've got going on, if you take a look at your whole month now, you've got your workshop here, you've got your blog here, you've got your Chamber of Commerce event that maybe you're going to be speaking at or networking with, and then all of a sudden your newsletter is due. So now you don't necessarily have to worry about what am I going to talk about in my newsletter. Look at all the content that you've charted on your calendar for yourself. You can talk about the fact that you were just at a Chamber of Commerce event and the people that you've met there in the community. And you've got a blog that you can be talking about and remind people where they can go to check it out. And you can also talk about the fact that you had finished a workshop with a specific group, teens in depression, and that it went really great. And if you find that there's somebody in your household that would benefit from this workshop, you've got the next one coming up on the 16th. So as I was saying earlier, this is a really great way of you plotting all of the things that are going on in your practice on your calendar, and then you can really take a look at where the holes are so that you can think about what needs to be filled in there. Also, you have themes going on now, right? So if you've got this blog post that you've broken out now into several social media posts because you've taken the content out of the blog and just dropped it into little drips of social media content, you've got a theme going on for that whole week. And if it's a 2-part blog, then by golly, you've got theme going on for 2 weeks. You can also plot in here any holidays that are coming up. There are so many things that you can put on your marketing calendar that will add as inspiration for things to put in social media, in a blog, in a newsletter, all of the things that usually leave us scratching our head about what we're going to create around our marketing. Now, you'll notice we've got a heavy gray line here going down along the side. This is also a great opportunity for you to plug in areas of ideas. So if you're working with the folks in your office, or if you're working virtually with some folks in marketing, and you've got ideas for blogs or ideas for social media posts or ideas of things, topics that you want to talk about, no matter what form of marketing that's in, this is a great place for you to capture that. Just go ahead and utilize these, and you can see that I've color coded it. You can make one color for your email marketing or one color for a blog topic, whatever that looks like for you, and keep track of that along the side. So there again, as you're filling in this calendar, looking for where your holes are, then all of a sudden along the side here, you've got topics already ready to go, so you don't have to think about, geez, what am I going to write about today? So this is one nice, neat little approach that you can utilize for your marketing. Also, if you have different people, again, working on that, you can assign this responsibility to people through the use of your spreadsheet and through comments, and the fact that you're going to be sharing it on in some form of cloud type atmosphere. So that, in a nutshell, is your content calendar for your private practice. As I mentioned earlier, there's a lot of really great softwares out there that will help you do this. And it doesn't have to be super complicated, but if you want some extra bells and whistles, there are great programs out there that will help you get them. This is just a really scaled down, simplified approach to what a content calendar is and how it will help you stay organized in your private practice. Hope this helps. Well, there you go. Now you know exactly what to do with a content calendar to organize your marketing. But how are you going to set up your email marketing to capture all of those leads you're going to be bringing in? No worries, I've written a book on the subject, and the link to it is in the description below. Now, if you like this video, please let me know by liking it below, subscribe, and share it with your fellow practitioners. And if you would, comment with the word helpful below. This lets me know what kind of content resonates with you the most and what kind of content we should be creating for you in the future. Again, this is Lisa Wozniak with Woz Marketing, helping you navigate your yellow brick road. Have a great day, everyone.